Hey, everybody, you're watching and listening to the We Are Rising podcast. This is your host, Andrew Benjamin. Returning guest, Spike Carlyle, taking on Kyung Po Kim, Rising 47. You can check it out on Rizin.tv. Spike, great to see you again. It's been a while.
Yes, great to see you, Andrew. I know we just caught up last few minutes, but it's been a little while, and stoked to see your face and stoked to do this interview right now.
I wish more people would say that they're stoked to see my face. Um, how have you been though? Like I know the last fight you had against Yoshinori Horie. Unfortunately, didn't go your way. But what have you been doing between then and now?
Yeah, so that fight was in September. It's been quite a long bit of downtime, longer than I wanted. I was trying to get back in there sooner, but things just, God had a different plan. It didn't work out that way. So, but now I have a great matchup, June 9th, and I'm ready to crush it. So, I've always been training, so you know me, I've only gotten better. So, just improving my skill set, staying active, and staying healthy.
So yeah, let's talk a little bit about that fight against Kyung Po Kim, road to UFC veteran
Hmm.
from Korea. Uh, Pretty good fighter, I would say. Are you familiar with him? Have you watched any of his stuff?
Yeah. I was watching some film today actually on him. So I'm always researching my opponents diligently and making sure I know what they're coming with
Hmm.
or think they're
Any
coming with.
any thoughts on him as a fighter, his style, anything of that sort?
Yeah, as far as the fighter goes, you know, I've like I said, I've watched quite a few of his fights, and he his last two fights have ended in the first round, so I haven't been able to gather as much data. But I watched his road to UFC fight, and a few other fights before that. So, from my understanding, he's like a pretty like I would say like a standard MMA package fighter, meaning like he does the like standard MMA basics consistently in all aspects. You know, striking, wrestling, jujitsu. You know, everything is like the standard MMA package.
Hmm. How do you think your skills will compete against his when the bell
Yeah.
rings?
Yeah, it sounds really cliche, but you know, all the fighters, a lot of them say, oh, I can beat him striking, grappling, blah blah blah. I can beat him wherever. So not to sound too cliche, but I think you know, wherever the fight goes, I'll be able to handle him. It's nothing I haven't seen before. You know, this will be my 21st professional MMA fight. I think it'll be his 17th, so we both have some experience, but I don't think I think I bring a lot more uniqueness and just probably a lot different than most opponents he's fought before. So I'll definitely have the X factor in this one.
Hmm. So this will be, I think, your fourth or third fight for Ryzen.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
fourth fight.
Okay. What's the?
Yeah.
Are there any plans to fight the rest of this year? Or I don't know if you discussed that with the brass at Ryzen, but is there anything you can tell us about your status with them after this fight?
Yeah, so I think I have I'll have after this one I'll have one more fight on my Ryzen contract, my current Ryzen contract. So we'll see. You know, I want to get a finish, make a big statement, and kind of see where the cards fall or whatever you want to call it. But I don't, I'm just so locked into June 9th. You know, anything can happen, so I'm just doing everything I can to prepare to finish this guy.
Hmm. I know we talked a little bit about before we started, but you're now training in Phuket, Thailand. Is Phuket
Yeah.
the top team, I believe?
I'm training at Phuket Grappling Academy
Okay.
primarily right now. Yeah.
Gotcha. What is the training environment like in Thailand versus how it is where you used to train in California? Like, what's the like? What are the big differences?
So a big difference would definitely be the amount of fresh talent, fresh bodies you get here because Phuket is not a lot of the fighters come here for their training camps or in between or just training for a month or 2 month, or maybe doing half their camp here, half somewhere else. So it's like there's an immense talent pool and an immense amount of variety of fighters coming in and out. Whereas, if you're at a home gym in California, you see the same guys, you're training with the same guys, pretty consistently throughout the year. So really cool because there's always new people, fresh people, and different styles. And it's good for me because I can come here and, if I have I can find the right person to emulate the style for me that's similar to it. So that's a good advantage. Whereas if you're stuck at one gym, can't really, you know what I mean? You got to work with what you got.
What do you think about? So I feel like Thailand is getting this recent surge of, like you said, cross training. There's a ton of people from Japan who went there, like Clever, Reina, um, a bunch of UFC guys also recently as well have been training in Thailand. Why do you think Thailand's getting all this, just getting all this attention now all of a sudden, for all this cross training?
Yeah. The question is why I think that's happening.
Oh yeah, why do you think it's happening like now? Do you think that they changed up? Do you think that they're now making it more, I guess, foreigner friendly? Do you think, yeah, I mean, what do you think's the reason behind that?
Yeah, I mean, so I think one of the big ones that started it all was obviously Tiger Muay Thai, and then they kind of branched into MMA, and obviously Thailand. They love the martial arts. They love the fighting culture is very strong over here. Um, so I think when Tiger started blowing up, you started getting some real talent out of there, and then other gyms and other people came. They just love the environment here. It's a great place to start a gym. It's a beautiful place in the world. It's kind of it's a great destination to live and to be in. And I think, just like I said, there was already such a strong fighting culture here. Tiger MMA or Tiger Muay Thai kind of made it popular, and similar gyms started popping up all over the place.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What is the grappling scene though? Because obviously we know that Thailand is like, listen, if you want to learn kickboxing, whatever,
Yeah,
that's what's going. But
yeah,
like, where is grappling now, in Thailand? And
yeah.
yeah, do you think that it can? Do you think that it can eventually adapt to like a high level grappling country, like
Yeah.
Japan, United States has?
Yeah, so actually he'll be in my corner, my jujitsu professor out here, Ben Royal at Phuket Grappling Academy. I think he has the best gym in Southeast Asia for they specifically specify in nogi grappling. So I've trained all over the world. His jujitsu is it's supreme. He actually prepped me for the Satoshi fight last time I was here. So he's a great instructor, and his gym's just it's crazy. These open mats are some of the I think it's like one of the biggest open mats in Southeast Asia. It's just get tons of black belts, tons of high level guys. As far as the wrestling goes, before he had a D1 wrestling coach. He's no longer there, so I think they're in between getting a new wrestling coach. But you do have the Hickman brothers up in Bang Tao, and then recently I started training with a gentleman at Southside named Josh. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head, but another American wrestler. So they're starting to develop also a higher level wrestling program. But
Mm.
as far as nogi jujitsu goes, man, they got it really dialed in. And then also with the wrestling, you have so many Russians coming in who have their the Russian wrestling style. So there's definitely some high level wrestling there
Mm.
if you speak Russian.
Ah, speaking of Nogi, I got to ask, as somebody who is a high level grappler like yourself, what do you think of Ben Jones Invitational versus ADCC at this biggest feud in grappling apparently right now?
Yeah, if that's real, man, wow, I think it's amazing. Like what Craig Jones is trying to do with the building up, making some money for the athletes. I love it. Why not? Uh, so if he's really going to give out $1 million to a winner, I'm like, oh my gosh, why? Yeah, I think it's a great thing. It's awesome.
Hmm. Speaking of grappling as well, I know you partook in the snake pit Ligan
Yeah,
tournament
yeah.
last year. What was that? What was that like? I Do you have like a catch wrestling type background?
Yeah, no, I don't. So one of my other coaches who will also be in my corner, Fergus McTaggart. He's been a high school wrestling coach for decades. He grew up wrestling. He was also one of Josh Barnett's coaches and cornermen. And Josh Barnett's a big catch wrestling guy, and so Barnett and him were putting together an American team to go over there and compete in the World Championships, and they invited me and allowed me to come through and participate, and it was quite the experience. Definitely, if I do it again, I'm gonna actually train for it. I didn't really train for it. I was still doing my, it's the rules are a little different, so I had a good time over there. But if I do it again, I'm definitely gonna take it a little more serious and actually train in the sport.
Yeah, they've uploaded all the fights on YouTube. I watched your fights. I watched Josh
Yeah,
Barnett versus I think it was Owen Lively. I think it
yeah,
was.
Owen
Yeah,
Lindsay. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I wasn't so sure of the rules, even though I watched all the matches. Because it seems like
yeah.
I don't know. It seems like different matches had different rules, or unless I
Yeah.
was going crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really like catch wrestling and kind of the vision my coach Fergus has and uh, coach Barnett is, in America, we have the high school folk style wrestling. And then, there's after that, what do these guys get into? It's jujitsu. Well, in jujitsu, a lot of these guys are just starting on their back. They're just pulling guard. So what's cool about catch wrestling is if you go to your back, and someone's on top of you, all you need is a 1 second pin to win. So you can't go to your back. You have to wrestle or go to turtle or try to stand up. So it pushes the wrestling a lot. So it's a really good transitional period from a folk style into, okay, I want to learn submissions. I'm going to go into catch wrestling. And obviously in MMA, it's better to be on top. So it's really pushing, trying to be on top and fight for that kind of fighting style. So I think it's awesome.
Are you very much of the crowd of anti pulling guard? I can't. Are you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You won't see me. Actually, when I did jujitsu, because it is such an advantage, I'd pull guard and just wrestle up, so I score quick too.
Ah,
But
you do the
yeah,
Nicky Rod thing. You do the Nicky Rod thing.
yeah, I was doing that way before it was a thing. I was doing
Uh,
that in high when I was a white belt and when I was 17 at tournaments and stuff. So, um, yeah. So I don't like pulling guard. I think you should wrestle or at least do your best to. And I really do think I don't watch much grappling. I think it's I'm not going to say the word, but yeah, I'm not a big fan. It's just kind of lame watching two guys start and just sit to their butts, and I don't know, not very entertaining.
I got you. I got you. There's also a big fight this weekend. I'm curious to get your opinion at UFC 302. Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier, both
Oh,
lightweights. That's your weight class. I'm curious to know
yeah.
who do you think is going to win that?
Oh man, I really like Dustin Poirier. I think he's had such a amazing career. I think he's hitting that this is his last one. So, it would be great to see him end up on top, but I don't think it's happening. Islam is he's on a different level, I think, and I don't see. I mean, it's tough. Dustin is a veteran. He's obviously very very good at what he does and crafty, and he's been in there with the best fighters in the world. So he definitely has a chance, but I'd go 70-30 for Islam.
Wouldn't it be so funny, presuming this is the last fight, if he did win, but he won it by jumping guillotine?
Islam or Dustin?
Oh no, Dustin, Dustin.
Oh
He
yeah,
finally
yeah,
gets the jumping
yeah,
guillotine, and it's his last
yeah, yeah.
fight.
That would that would be wild. I know I've seen like the things on the internet. He's like, if I get it, I'm gonna make a bronze statue and put it outside my house of him jumping the guillotine.
That's funny.
So
Uh,
yeah, I
so,
think
so also, I'm curious to know as well. I know that you did have a few fights with Bellator a few years ago. I'm curious to know, have they ever reached out to you to like fight again, or has PFL reached out to you?
Yeah, so when I haven't reached out to them, they haven't really reached out to me. I haven't made an attempt just because I'm still in my contract with Rizin, and I'm really enjoying my time fighting over in Rizin. And I was thinking, oh, it'd be cool to possibly go to PFL eventually, but I just found out, I don't know how I didn't know this, but PFL doesn't allow elbows. So I don't want to fight, I like less rules. I don't want more rules. So I was thinking it'd be cool, but now I'm not really that interested in going over there.
Yes, yes, yes. They are well notorious for not allowing elbows, and a lot of fans don't like it. They do
Yeah,
not like
yeah,
that.
I don't think that's good. I understand they have a tournament; they don't want people to get cut because they're fighting consistently, but you're just taking out, a huge weapon out of everyone's arsenal. So I like using all my weapons. So don't take my weapons away from me.
hmm So after this fight, you beat Kim. Is there anybody that you have that you would like potentially next to help climb up the rankings of the ladder?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So after I finish Kyung Po Kim, like I said, we'll kind of see where the cards fall. I'm not looking too far forward. Um, I would really like to understand what's happening with Satoshi. He hasn't defended his belt in forever. I know he just fought, but I don't think it was for a title fight. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if, I think he needs to defend his belt. So I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with that. I think it's Tofik Musayev is up next, or Luis Gustavo. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. He hasn't defended in so long. I have no idea what's going on. But I would
Hmm.
definitely love, honestly, I wouldn't want to fight Satoshi again because I really like him. He's my brother in Christ. But I would love to fight Gustavo or Musayev for the belt one day. That'd be awesome.
Unfortunately, Musayev is a little let's say he's a little occupied at the moment. Let's just I'll let you know after what
Oh,
happens.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard from it in a while. Okay. Well then I want Gustavo.
Okay, okay.
I've been watching Gustavo since before I even turned professional. I was watching him fight in Rise, and I was like, oh, I can get that guy. So I would love to compete against him.
It's been that way. So even when you were not a pro, you saw Gustavo.
Maybe okay, maybe I was like early in my pro career. I can't
Okay,
remember how long.
okay.
I think when was it, maybe 2019 when Gustavo started fighting for Rizin? So I think I was yeah, apologies. I think I was like 3-0 or something like that. I was like, oh,
Okay.
I can take that guy. You know what I mean? So
I was like, Gustavo, I know he's young, but that means he'd be
yeah,
younger. He might have been younger
yeah,
when then you did, which is like that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. No, I took my time. I didn't turn pro till I was like 24, 20, almost 25.
Hmm. Actually, we were talking about Amy fights before. I'm curious to know
Yeah.
any crazy Amy stories, like
Oh
just
man.
because there's so many, but like, what was like the
Yeah.
craziest Amy experience that you've ever had?
So we were talking a little bit about those Indian reservation fights, and I've had a few of those, and they are wild. So this one fight I had, it was a rematch, and I'm not gonna talk which promotion it was, but it was the first one was wild. I hadn't fought in a while, and they gave me the opportunity, like, hey, you want to fight? We'll give you a title shot, and they said, okay, here's the weight, and so I cut all this weight and I didn't know how to cut weight at the time. It was day before weigh-in, so and it was like pretty much pro rules. You could elbow, you could knee. The rounds were only 3 minutes long, but it was for their title fights, it was pretty much a pro rules fight. And so I ended up making the weight, or I think I missed it by I think the weight class was 160, and I came in at 162 and a half. I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine, don't worry about it. And then I found out like my opponent came in at like 178. He didn't even he didn't even try to make weight. And so when I fought him, it was a competitive fight, but I like completely gassed out because, like I said, I did a horrible weight cut job. I ended up losing a split decision, and I got a rematch with him. And in the rematch, I we were fighting, and I ended up catching him with a left hook with like less than 10 seconds, and the whole crowd's like going crazy, and I'm pounding him out, and the ref comes in and stops the fight, but the bell had rung, but the ref didn't hear it or whatever, and I'm still, you know what I mean? So anyways, it was completely chaotic, and I thought I won the fight, and like the ref waved off the fight. The guy was out, like out cold, and then they're like they did some shady stuff because the guy was like his gym was like one of the promote like part of the in coots with the promotion, right? Um, and so they in a fight, if the ref calls the fight, that's it. The ref has the final say, not according to the rules, not the bell. And so the ref called the fight, and they kept the fight going. The poor guy I had to fight him 2 more rounds, but I don't think he was completely there because, like I said, he went out in the first one really bad. So that's a wild one. It was a first round knockout, but it ended up being a unanimous decision for me. So
That's so funny. I'm
yeah.
surprised. I'm like, when you say that he was just like not in it, was he kind of just like, was he almost like a zombie? Like, I don't know if you can
I
remember.
mean, he I mean, he was conscious, he recovered, but like the momentum completely shifted. Like he didn't have any like many winning moments after that. You know what I mean? Like it was a competitive first round. I think he was probably edging it. And then like I said, I caught him, dropped him, pounded him out bad. Like he was completely, he was done. Like,
Well,
they let him fight 2 more rounds. They gave him, a little bit of time to wake up and kept the fight going. So
what was that? Wasn't there the recent UFC fight where the girl went out in the submission, but
yeah,
then her corner like carried her. It was
Zhang
a
Wei
two
Li
time.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What do you think about that? That like that they let that fight continue on? Like that should have been right. Is
Yeah,
it
I mean,
the rules dictate that if somebody goes out for a submission, that it's supposed to be ruled?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have to go to the ref in that cause. Like that's the ref's job to call the fight or not. So if the ref didn't call the fight, you keep it going. But if the ref calls the fight, that's the fight. It doesn't.
Mm.
You don't. The bell matters, but if the ref doesn't hear it or something, if the ref stops the fight or calls the fight, that's it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Gotcha. Gotcha. There was also there was a French kickboxing thing that happened. I think it was last year. Problem was that the bell. So the bell was stuck in traffic. They couldn't get the bell in time.
Uh,
So I think they had to yell for like 10 seconds or something.
oh no.
But the ref couldn't hear it for a bunch of times. So a bunch of the fights, and it actually happened with the kickboxer who came from Japan, Taiju Shiratori.
Yeah.
He saw on the thing, he thought he heard like 10 seconds or something, but
Yeah.
English is not his thing. So he kind of
Yeah.
just stopped fighting and then he got knocked out because
Oh,
yeah. So it was, yeah, it was like it was one of the most like
that's horrible.
Z-rate things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. No, fighting is it's still the Wild West in a lot of places, man.
But you ever go to you ever have you ever want to do like kickboxing or Muay Thai like at in Thailand? Is that something that you've ever considered possibly doing as well or
Yeah,
no?
I've actually already fought Muay Thai here like 4 times before.
Oh
So
really?
I have done pro Muay Thai. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Was was that was that in what do you call it, Bangkok? Was that
Funny enough, it was in Pattaya. I fought for Max
oh,
Muay Thai over
oh,
there.
oh,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. It
What do
was
you think
cool.
when you see all those Thai fighters who have like 100 fights on their record and they're only like 18, 19?
Oh man, that is it's. I was just watching. Fights are on all the time out here, and it's an amazing thing to watch right now. And I think more people should be tuning in. Is those ONE FC Friday night fights where it's 4 ounce MMA Muay Thai, MMA gloves with the Muay Thai. Their fights
Mhm.
are so like high level, and they just kill each other, bro. It's brutal. But
Mm.
yeah, I was watching it, and the guys were like 18. They had like 70 fights. The other one had like almost 100 fights, and it's yeah, that's the reason why a lot of Thai fighters retire young because they've had 100, 200 fights. By the time they're early 20s, their bodies are just kind of shot at that point.
Curious to know, bare knuckle. Would you ever
Mm-hmm.
consider doing that, or is that like no, that's like way
I
too far
would
for you?
love to do bare knuckle MMA. Yeah, I would really love that. The bare knuckle boxing, not at this point in my career, but if they gave me a bare knuckle MMA opportunity, I'd be all over that. That would be so good for me. I would love that.
So I think as far as I know, the only is Jorge Masvidal's promotion is the only
Yeah.
major one that
Yep.
does MMA.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now Rise is. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's the only one I've seen.
We now got Rizin doing bare knuckle also as well. So
That was cool. Yeah.
who
Little
knows?
bare knuckle box.
Yeah, maybe they'll ask you to be a part of their bare knuckle division at some point.
Hey, I'll tell them, hey, let's start something fresh. You know, I'd love to be a bare knuckle MMA world champion. That'd be cool.
But before you go, Spike, we've been talking
Yeah.
for a long time. I want to give you an opportunity to plug your sponsors, your gym, anybody else you want to give a shout out to.
Man, always most high. Thank you, King Majestic Jesus Christ. Always gotta give him the glory. You know, follow me on Instagram, Alpha Ginger MMA. Yeah, guess my sponsors, organic food bars, Thrive Companies, legit, Mariguy Medicinal, and I do have another one, Newtown MMA. It's going to be the future of Indian MMA. I can go into that a little bit with you, but there's this new gym that is opening up this year in Indian, Calcutta, Indian. I've met the owners behind it. They have a team of upcoming Indian MMA fighters, and their vision is amazing. They want to really, you know, India MMA is starting to pick up, and they want to be, you know, make it as high level as possible. So it's very exciting to see that, to know them, and be a part of it. One of my buddies just got the job as the one of the main coaches over there. So shout out to Newtown MMA. It's coming up.
Oh, I see. I got their Instagram up as well.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
is that standing? Is that oh that's how Jay Holacek. Holacek.
Yeah.
Is that oh
Yeah.
how's he been? He's no longer in Thailand, unfortunately. Oh.
He is in Thailand now. Yeah.
Oh, he is in Thailand. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So all the guys, the gym's still being built out, and right now they are they're building the gym, they brought all their fighters to Phuket to keep them busy, keep them training, keep them active. So I think the gym's supposed to be completed sometime in July. So they're just, you know, finishing construction up over there.
Gotcha. Okay. I see. And as well, I gotta let you do a little promo for your fights against Kim. So, floor is yours, sir.
All right. Kyung Po Kim, the Korean Red Horse. Good thing I want to be a cowboy. I'm an outlaw, baby. So I'm gonna try to ride you that night.
Okay, well, I'll leave it. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
You want take two? You want take two?
You know, let's keep it original. I think that was funny.
Okay, fair enough. And you can see Spike Carlyle take on Kyung Po Kim, the Red Horse, Rizin 47, June 9th, available on Rizin.tv with English commentary. And Spike, thank you so much again, man. Always great to talk to you. Always looking forward to your fight. You never have a bad fight, man. You know, win or lose, always a fun fight with you, man. And yeah, you know, we'll definitely be looking forward to your next one for Rizin.
I appreciate it. Godspeed, Andrew. Much love, brother. Peace.
Godspeed.